Welcome back to The Word, My Doubts with me, Dilly. Let me make sure this mic is on. Yep. Don't want any issues. This is a one-woman show, so trying to make sure everything's good, but it's just me. Before we get started, I just want you guys to know that I'm currently in Jamaica. You see the grill right there? It's an open space, so if a truck passes, I might have to stop for a minute. If there's any noise, I can't help that. Hopefully I'll be in a studio soon or more of an enclosed space, but for now, this is what we got. So I don't want to edit these videos really. I want to just put it out like how it is. But with the outside noises, if you hear anything, I might edit that out or, we'll see. But I just want this to be real and raw. Beep, beep. Okay, just letting you know. But hopefully you're hearing me just fine, and that's what's important. So today is chapter 4 of Genesis. This is episode 3. Chapter 4 is Cain and Abel. Now, I vaguely remember the story. I just remember that there was murder. One of the brothers murdered their brother. And I just remember feeling very off about that, like, murder. I don't love that. And especially, like, this is the 4th chapter. It just began. Like, the world just began and we're already in murder. Don't really make me feel good. It kind of gave me the same feeling I had. I hope you're not hearing all the talking. It's like right outside the gate. But it kind of made me feel like how I felt when Bambi's mom died. I watched Bambi one time. I was a child. I don't know how old I was. And they killed Bambi's mother. And I just remember, I can't explain the feeling, but just traumatized by that. I haven't watched it since. I don't know how I'd feel in my adult age. Am I going to edit that out? Sound like a big van, I don't want, hopefully there's not any noise when I'm actually reading the chapter. But yeah, if I was to rewatch Bambi now, I think I will, just to see how I feel. But I didn't feel good. And it had the same feeling of this story in the Bible, murder. I didn't love that. But let's get into it. Let us get into this chapter. Chapter 4 of Genesis, Cain and Abel. Now Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, saying, I have gotten a man with the help of the Lord. And again she bore his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain a worker of the ground. In the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground. And Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock, and of their fat portions. And the Lord had regard for Abel and his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no regard. So Cain was very angry, and his face fell. The Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry, and why has your face fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Its desire is contrary to you, but you must rule over it. Cain spoke to Abel his brother, and when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and killed him. Just like that. I'm trying to read the whole chapter, but okay, I'm going. Then the Lord said to Cain, Where is Abel your brother? He said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? And the Lord said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is crying to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it shall no longer yield to you its strength. You shall be a fugitive and a wanderer of the earth. Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, you have driven me today away from the ground, and from your face I shall be hidden. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer of the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. Then the Lord said to him, not so. If anyone kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord put a mark on Cain, lest any who found him should attack him. Then Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. When he built a city, he called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad fathered Mehujael, and Mehujael, I've never heard this name before, fathered Methushael, and Methushael fathered Lamech. I'm going to have to look up these names and see how they're pronounced. And Lamech took 2 wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other Zillah. Ada bore Jabal. He was the father of those who dwell in tents and livestock. His brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all those who play the lyre and pipe. Zillah also bore Tubal-Cain. He was the forger of all instruments of bronze and iron. The sister of Tubal-Cain, Naamah, Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice. You wives of Lamech, listen to what I say. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for striking me. It's Cain's revenge. If Cain's revenge is sevenfold, then Lamech's is 77fold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son and called him Seth. Called his name Seth. For she said, God has appointed for me another offering instead of Abel, for Cain killed him. To Seth also a son was born, and he called his name Enosh. At that time, people began to call upon the name of the Lord. Woo! Okay. That was a lot. A lot of murder, a lot of killing. Why? So, obviously the earth is new. If Adam and Eve had sons, that's just a few years. And we've already come to murder. Why? Let me go back. Now, when Abel gave the Lord, Cain brought offering of the fruit from the ground, and Abel brought the firstborn flock of their fat portions. Why did God accept Abel's offering but not Cain's? Why was that? Did he just prefer Abel? Did he see something in Cain that was not good? Showing favoritism like that will do something to someone. But how quickly this man just killed his brother. That's horrible. And if you think about modern times, when it comes to siblings, that's the last person you'd want to kill. I don't know about, I guess it's not the same for everyone, but anyone that I know or have ever known or have seen, like including myself, my siblings are a part of me. I couldn't think of killing my sibling. Cain rose up against his brother and killed him. Like, what? That's wild. I've always had an issue with this story because, like I said, the world just starts and we're already at murder. Like, why is this? What is this? Is like some of these things, like with the original sin with Adam and Eve, and now just killing. It's like, was humanity doomed to fail? Was humanity doomed to violence? What else? And see, I want to read out the chapter, and you guys can tell me which way you prefer. But like I said before in like the previous episode, sometimes if I'm reading and I don't say the thing right, then I'll forget. Okay, so he sent Cain away to be a fugitive and a wanderer of the earth, and whoever the Lord, if anyone kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And then I think it was Lamech who said he did something, so it will be 77-fold. That makes me think of when they say you may not get your karma when you do something bad. There's bad karma and good karma. So I'm talking about bad karma. You may not get your karma when you do something bad, but your children may, or your grandchildren may. That's what that reminds me of. I'm not sure if that's what that means, but when it says it reminds me of, yeah, something's going to come back to me, and if it's not me, it's my children or my grandchildren. So always do good so you can get your good karma, or your children can, or your grandchildren. All right, so then Cain went away from the presence. I'm wondering if Cain's punishment was too lenient. Just go away, that's it. Although Cain said, my punishment is greater than I can bear. And that made me think of how people say the Lord doesn't give you more than you can bear, which I do not agree with at all. Whenever someone says that, I disagree wholeheartedly, 100%. But Cain seemed to not bear, said he cannot bear that. Cain went and seemed to have a life. He had children. And then, it went into children and children's children and children's children. And all of a sudden, here we go, Lamech, 2 wives. 2 wives. So even in the beginning, it's like, okay, so what is it saying about polygamy and, what's the other word? Monogamy. Is it okay to have 2 wives? Is it okay to have more than 2 wives? Because if Cain's, what was his grandson, great-grandson, great-great-great-grandson, in biblical times is having 2 wives, then why not? I'm a monogamy person. I'm not going to be a wife of, I'm not having sister wives, but seems like it was fine here. I have killed a man for wounding me. Murder. That's murder. All of these names I'm really not familiar with. Lamech. These M names. Mehu, Jael. I don't know. I've never heard these names before. Never heard Zillah, Ada, Tubal Cain, Nama. Never heard these names before. I would expect to have heard, even Jabal. I don't know how Jabal. I know Jamal. So these names are interesting. How come I haven't heard them in modern times? Zillah is kind of nice. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son. So wait. Back to Adam. As in Eve. So they had a son named Seth. hold on. God has appointed me for another offspring instead of Abel, for Cain killed him. I did not know there was another sibling. To Seth also a son was born, and he called his name Enosh. I think that's how you pronounce it. At that time, people began to call upon the name of the Lord. Okay, people began to call upon the name of the Lord. Did they need guidance? Did they need the Lord for assistance? Why are they calling upon his name? Don't call it in vain, though. That's what I know now. Although it is hard. I know a lot of people calling out Jesus Christ. But I've always been told not to call out the Lord's name in vain. But anyway, it's not saying in vain. They began to call upon the name of the Lord. I guess they needed him. I'm not sure what that means. Also, remembering the first chapter where I don't want to. It's a podcast. I'm trying not to leave it just quiet too long. But yes, okay. I think I found it. God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. But then in the second chapter, he created Adam and Eve, which we, I think, know to be the first male and female. So with the first chapter saying that he created male and female in his own image, and then the second chapter saying he created Adam and Eve, I'm assuming there were more people. Adam and Eve were not the first then, because he already created them. Or is it that that was him creating Adam and Eve, but they went more into the creation of Adam and Eve after? But also, the creation of Adam and Eve, he created them from dust, right? Was it dust and his own image? Yeah, that's a little confusing for me. And especially since Cain went into the world as a wanderer and a fugitive, and he found other people, wife and thing. That means there were other people. It wasn't just Adam and Eve. And that's something that I've thought about before. Well, if it was just Adam and Eve and they had 2 sons, and how would they have multiplied? So there had to be more people, obviously. Cain's see, it's like how they say in the law, we don't know, we can't dictate someone's punishment. I guess the law does that, although the law is not always right in these times. But Cain killed his brother. What was the right punishment for Cain? Really, to just be a fugitive? Like, you just get to go on and live your life and have picnic and be okay? That don't sit right with me. The only thing that it can make me feel a little better is that Cain was like, this is more than I can bear. So maybe he was in turmoil, but he got to seemingly live on and be fine and have picnic and grand picnic and great grand picnic, and who knows how long he lived. People in those days never lived too long. So yeah, I don't know. Cain killing his brother out of jealousy, I presume, but then God showing favoritism. Why? And if he saw something in Cain, then why not help him and show him love? He should know that if you shun him in a way, or, show favoritism to the brother, or just not show him love, that's just not the right way for Cain. Maybe if he showed Cain love and showed him, that there was another way. Otherwise, is Cain a psychopath, like a sociopath who has no feelings, and he was going to do whatever anyway? What was sociopaths made in that day? Like, is this our first psychopath? Because a non-psychopath or sociopath is not going to just kill their brother. They're going to feel a way about it. I don't know. This story, the little bit that I remember bothered me, and reading it again bothers me. Violence, killing of your brother. And even the Lord, the way how he treated Cain, like Cain brought fruits from the earth. Why did you not care? Why did you not show care? And like I said, if he knew Cain, maybe he felt something in Cain, then show Cain some love. Show him something different so that he wouldn't do that to his brother. And then his, great-great-great-grandpicnic Lamech, killing people, killing somebody. And now, his revenge, if Cain's revenge is sevenfold, ours is going to be, well, you killing people? Too much killing for me. Too much killing for me. It just made me feel like this is the 4th chapter. This is like the beginning and we're already in murder. And it just, the Bible is showing what is it showing? That we're doomed to fail, doomed to violence. I don't know. This story bothered me then. It is bothering me now. I don't love it. And I don't love that the Lord treated Cain that way. I'm not saying what Cain did after. Like, I'm so upset I'm going to kill him. That's wild. And of all the things, the first murder was a brother killing a brother. I'm repeating myself, but this chapter, yeah, I don't love the murder and the killing. And this is only the beginning. We'll see where we go from here. I have no idea. It's still an interesting story, but I don't even like watching stuff with murder. Like, why are we killing? And that is also a part of my existential dread. Like how human life is, I don't feel like it's cared about enough. People die every day, people just dead, whether it's a tragedy or a killing or a murder, and it's like, whatever. And yes, life goes on, but it's like, whatever. That person died, we're making jokes, we're saying things about them. Like, is human life not precious? Is it not? I don't know. And I had something I was just going to say a while ago and I forgot. I hate when that happens. But the way how, this is what I was going to say. Like, and I already have issues with death. And just one day here and the next day, just gone. Just gone. That's so weird to me. It made me feel that way I could cry. Like, I wish that we all could just go on living till we're old and die old age death, a comfortable old age death. But then I guess an argument would be, but then if you knew that, you wouldn't live life to the fullest. I don't know. But I have issues with death and definitely have issues with murder. And killing your brother. This story, I don't love it. This did not help with my existential crisis. Anyway, I'm ending this video here and I don't feel great. I'm not gonna lie. But it was an interesting story, but it just, I didn't love that story. Okay, well, let me see what the next chapter is. Adam's descendants to Noah. Is that Noah and the ark? Or Noah's ark? Okay. All right. Let's see what that's about. So, yeah, I'm going to end this episode here. What episode is this? I think it's episode 3. Yeah, I think. All right. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. This has been another episode of The Word, My Doubts with Dilly. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.